Can you imagine if you were planning a wedding and you chose a caterer, and instead of going to the caterer with all of this research that you had done about weddings themselves and what kind of wedding you want to have and what kind of food you want, and asking questions about cocktails and maybe having a beach wedding, or whatever your specific ideas were for what you wanted, you walked into the caterer and you just said, hey, listen up, this is the date that I'd like to get married, and I'll check in with you a couple of times throughout the next few months, but essentially I'm gonna show up that day, and whatever you wanna do, that's fine. That would never happen, right? But that's how most people go into birth. They don't research, they certainly don't take classes, they think that they're a waste of time and energy and money. And the reason for that, very sadly, is because we have been led to believe that birth is a completely medical event where you have no control whatsoever. So the only control lies in the hands of medical practitioners. So essentially it's a waste of your time to get educated because it's really a crapshoot. Anything could happen on that day, and don't set yourself up for failure. I mean, I know you guys have heard this before, and maybe it's something that you believe. So I want to dispel with that myth right this second and tell you that childbirth education classes can affect everything about your pregnancy, your labor, your birth, your entry into parenthood, your relationship with your partner, your ability to advocate for yourself forever, not just in the medical world, but in every part of your life. It can boost your confidence, and it certainly can affect the details of how your birth unfolds. So just like, using the example I gave before, if you were planning to have a beach wedding, you wanted to have your wedding on the beach, and you don't live in Aruba where the weather is beautiful 99% of the time, but you live on Long Island like I do, and it rains a lot. And so you wouldn't say, well, forget it, I'm not even gonna bother trying to plan for a beach wedding. No, you would plan for the beach wedding and you'd have plan B, right? You would have a backup, and you would expect that the caterer who you hired and trusted would be able to support you and help you to fulfill the backup plan should you need to. So it is no different for birth. Most of birth is not a medical event. Most people have just very normal, physiological births where their bodies know just what to do, and they work with their bodies and they don't sabotage the effort, and they have beautiful experiences. But when we leave our birth experience in the hands of somebody else, besides the fact that it strips us of our ability to advocate for ourselves, it strips us of our control and our options, which definitely plays a part in your life forever, because this experience can really affect you. It also is possibly going to negatively affect the outcome of your birth. The thing that we want the most, which is to have a healthy baby, sometimes if you allow someone else, even your medical caregivers, to run the show completely, you are risking certain issues coming up in your birth that might not have. The reason that I'm telling you that is because not everyone has to give birth the same way. So if you're going to have a cookie cutter birth that is dictated by somebody else, then you are increasing your chances of having issues. You're not listening to your body, you don't know your body, you're not working with your body, and that is a problem. So for so many reasons, taking a childbirth class can be life-changing. It certainly can be birth-changing. So I highly, highly encourage you to, at the very least, reach out to me if you have questions. You certainly don't have to sign up for a class, but at least get your questions answered and start the process of researching and educating yourselves so that you can have the best and safest birth possible.